Welcome to the Stripped Club, the podcast that strips away the noise and dives deep into the real, raw conversations every man needs to share.
Welcome back, guys. This is, I don't know, episode 2, season 2, but we're going in a sequence, right? And I want to start this one off by saying something not enough men say out loud. I wasn't ready. Say it with me. I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready to love again. I wasn't ready to give love. I wasn't even ready to receive it. But that didn't stop me from trying, because when you come out of a divorce or any long-term relationship, that damn near breaks you. There's this urge, there's this deep desire to want to feel wanted again, to feel needed, to feel seen. So that's what today's episode is about. It's called Loving Before I Was Healed, all right? See, when my marriage ended, I told myself I was good. I told myself I was clear. I told myself I was ready for a fresh start. And I meant it. At least I thought I did. So when someone came into my life again with open arms, with understanding, with a kind of softness I hadn't felt in years, I leaned in. I leaned in fast, and I leaned in hard, real hard. See, she was the right energy, right? She was the right spirit. And for me, I thought, this is the right woman. But honestly, I was still carrying the wrong version of me. And I hadn't taken enough time to sit with my pain, to sit and deal with what I just went through, unpack what went wrong, take accountability for my contribution to the breakdown, to peel back the layers of my own emotional bruises, and just breathe. Instead, came into the relationship with brags. I brought unhealed trust issues, residual anger, a mind that was still in protection mode, a heart still guarded like Fort Knox, right? Because I'm coming from a crazy 18 years. I wasn't trying to manipulate her or play games. Like, I genuinely wanted to build something. I was building on a cracked foundation, and that was the problem. So here's the truth. When you haven't fully healed, you love defensively instead of intentionally. And that is what I've learned. You question the compliments. When she's silent, you start overthinking it. You look for escape routes the minute things feel too peaceful. Because you've been conditioned to expect chaos. And in trying to protect yourself, you end up hurting someone who didn't break you. She didn't even contribute to it. And that's exactly what happened to me. See, she didn't deserve that version of me that second-guessed everything. I looked for red flags even in her kindness. That struggled to be vulnerable because of my last experience. I just wasn't in a great place. She wanted to love me out loud, but I kept turning the volume down. Not because she wasn't worthy, it was because I hadn't done the work, right? I realized I wasn't in love, I was in need. I needed comfort. I needed distraction. I needed something to fill the silence that my divorce left behind. But something I had to also be honest with that I learned is that relationships aren't rehab centers. They're not here to fix what the last one broke. That's your job, buddy. And it's my job now. And if you haven't done that work, you'll bleed on someone who never cut you. And that's just not fair. One of the hardest pills I had to swallow was understanding that it wasn't about whether I loved her. It was actually about whether I could love her well. And love, real love, it requires capacity, emotional capacity, a spiritual maturity, a self-awareness. You see, I was still learning on how to trust myself again. How do I deal with joy without guilt? How do I rest without fear? How do I receive love without suspicion? See, I tried to shortcut the whole process. Speed. And in doing so, I nearly sabotaged something very beautiful. So to the woman that I tried to love before I was whole, if you're listening, I hope you are, thank you. Thank you for trying. Thank you for seeing something in me I was still struggling to see in myself. And I'm sorry, not for how I felt or what I felt, but for how unfinished I was when I brought myself to you. And to the men who are listening right now, ask yourself this. Are you loving from your wounds or from your healing? Because love isn't supposed to feel like a job interview or a trauma bond. It should feel like a safe house. But you can't create safety for someone else if you're still at war inside. So take your time, my brothers. Heal. Reflect. Get to know yourself outside of the pain. Because the right person deserves the real you. Not the version just trying to outrun the loneliness. So this is a strip club again. We're taking off masks. We're saying what other men are scared to say. Where we hold space for each other's growth. And next week's episode is about legacy. Not just what we leave behind, but how we show up today. It's called The Father I Never Had to Be. It's going to get personal. But I can assure you, it's going to be quite powerful. So until then, stay aware, stay honest, and as always, stay stripped.